I don't know who did this meme, but this will basically be addressing something that I've talked about in previous videos. I'm going to read this meme. Gentrification equals racism. Middle class and minority families are displaced because of increase of rent. Politicians justify these acts as a way to provide jobs and new investments for areas containing high unemployment and poverty and neglect. Developed out of the national wave urban decay, quote unquote. People supporting gentrification are the real estate actors who want the rent paid by middle class white people. I'll tell you guys this. Every black person should be demanding to be tax free and also to not be gentrified as far as when it comes to reparations, as well as money. So those three should be added. There's no way that we in this day and age should stand for anything less. Being tax free will help you make up for what we don't have as far as wealth. Not being gentrified, we get to keep our neighborhoods wherever we are, and it won't affect us. We could also put forth business things that we want to do and do whatever we want with our finance that will help us. I don't understand why black people are not tax free here. Native Americans are. And I'm not going to go into semantics and say, well, a lot of us have Native American background. But even with that, I could say that for myself too. But even with that, we weren't accepted as Native Americans here. We are black people, most likely from the diaspora of Africa. And specifically in America, we are ADOS. Black, or BADOS. Black Americans descendant of slaves. We didn't come here like everyone else did. And yet we still are even economically behind because of things that were done to sabotage even us getting to even be economically up to date with the rest of society. Well, specifically white society. Black people should be tax-free. We should not have to pay taxes because of all the stuff that we've gone through and what we face, specifically. Also, we shouldn't be gentrified because this is where we have our roots. And plus, we are owed a lot of money for the very things that happened then up to now. So check this out, you guys. These three things should be addressed when talking about reparations. You see how our cities are gentrified and all that. And even this whole Nipsey Hussle thing too, how they blatantly try to move us out even if we have power. I know about that place that area because I had, an acquaintance of mine lose his business over there. And this business was known. It wasn't unknown. It was actually even on TV. Some of the best vegan soul food that I've ever had. It was more Indian based though. Mr. Wisdom should still be there, but they're building that rail and it thwarted his customers. He tried to get a petition and it didn't work. It was so messed up to know that place is not there anymore. Plus, not too far from that area, Lamert Park is fighting to keep Africa Town what it is. And they put a fence around the areas that people would hang out. I'm glad that the Chaos Network with Ben is still over there. And there's people that are still fighting against what's going on over there. But man, this is obvious. It's like they don't want us to have anything. So now, and even the people that I know over there are saying don't leave but just buy, like Nipsey was talking about. I'm from a different part of LA, but I hang out in that area quite a bit, so I know some things and I've talked to people. But even going to Inglewood, Phil from Advice TV, I'm glad that he actually featured Inglewood on there because there are a lot of changes. Inglewood is a place that I go to find a lot of Caribbean stuff that I can't get anywhere else. That's where most of the Caribbeans are, in Inglewood. We have Belizeans, we have Jamaicans, maybe some Trinidadians, but those Belizeans and Jamaicans are probably bigger. We have some Ethiopians. I know people from my church that live in Inglewood. I think even some Creoles and, of course, Afro-American or Black American people. You know, you got some African businesses there too. I mean, Nigerian food, that's where I go. Inglewood is where I go to get Nigerian and Caribbean food. And I mean, they has like African and Caribbean restaurants, and just the diverse amount of black people there. It's as far as like cities in Los Angeles that are very diverse when it comes to black cultures. I would say Inglewood is that. I just mentioned all most of the groups that are there, as far as people that are black that live there. So now what they're doing is they're raising rent, and it's like running people out. No black person there should be gentrified at all because they helped build that community. What that meme that I read said is how they do that, talking about its urban development, but yet the people living there are not benefiting from it. It's not fair, and it's evil, and it's happening everywhere. I've heard stories about Brooklyn and Harlem. This is not right. They're displacing people. A lot of people talk about moving to the South. I mean, if you want to do that, fine. But that could easily happen there as well. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm from California. This is where I grew up. I've been around America tons of times touring. I don't like anywhere else. I mean, people might scoff at me for that, but hey, there's a lot, there are black people still here. But as far as reparations go, this is what I'm not only asking, I'm demanding. Black people should not be paying taxes because of the things that have happened to us. And we are behind economically because of that. We should not be paying taxes, and we shouldn't be gentrified out of our neighborhoods. Plus, we should get money to build ourselves. Anyway, you guys, like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what's up. Peace.